What is up, you guys? It's your boy Peace. How you guys doing? So this is the Pixel 6 and I've been using it for a week now, and this is my review. So let's get right into it. One of my favorite thing about Pixel 6 is, of course, the hardware design. This phone has an idiosyncratic look to it. The beloved HTC team that Google acquired many years ago finally designed a flagship phone for Google, and I think they did a fantastic job. I'm not saying this because I am a former HTC fan. Shout out to HTC One and M8. That was a beautiful smartphone, but I do really think that this design is cool. This visor looking camera bump is big and audacious, but it does complement with the square shape of this phone. The only design quirks that I dislike about Pixel is that they got rid of the accent color power button, and I was a big fan of that, so I'm kind of sad. Overall, Google totally nailed the design for the Pixel 6 this year, and I totally love the haptic motor in this as well. It feels very rich and it doesn't feel cheap at all. But enough with the hardware, let's talk about the display. The display is phenomenal. With the 6.4-inch 90Hz display with the max brightness of 843 nits, you're getting a great deal for the price. I hadn't had any issues with the display quality itself, but I still think that 6.4-inch is too big for me, and the uncomfortableness of having this phone in your front pocket of skinny jeans is still pretty abysmal. Although I immensely love the flat screen, I won't have any type of weird reflection nor accidental tapping from the side bezel, so yeah, it's pretty fantastic. The speaker is loud and clear. I often watch some YouTube videos and Netflix without using any type of Bluetooth speaker, so it's pretty good. The in-display fingerprint sensor of this phone is pretty weak, not gonna lie. I mean, it takes around 0.5 seconds or half a second to open up your phone, and if you're used to previous Pixel's fingerprint sensor, this will feel slow, like really slow. Alright, so my friend have the Pixel 4a, and I have the Pixel 6, and let's compare the fingerprint sensor speed of these devices. Alright, so on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh. So the Pixel 6, 1, 2, 3, go. This could be frustrating for some people, but if you condone this fingerprint sensor, you'll be totally fine. So I think it's all about here, not the phone. It's your personality.
Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that.
This year's Pixel's cameras are awesome. It has 50 megapixel f1.9 wide lens, 12 megapixel f2.2, 114 degrees field of view ultra wide, and 8 megapixel f2.0 selfie camera. I wish the selfie camera was a bit wider like the Pro model, and I wish that it can shoot up to 4K footage, but you kind of have to compromise with the price, and it is what it is. Although the camera's HDR is still fantastic, and for photos and just calling someone on FaceTime, you will not have any problem with the front camera. I mean, it's pretty good. The primary camera is astonishing. Since Google went all in for the hardware aspect of this year's camera, the amalgamation between Google's computational photography and the 50 megapixel sensor can create a stunning looking photo with a natural blur in the background. I don't really use portrait mode anymore because of the sensor size is so good, and I can just get a good looking blurred background photo with the normal camera. The ultra wide is wide but not wide as the iPhones. I am not surprised or anything by this camera, but at the same time, I don't really have anything bad to talk about this ultra wide camera. You can't shoot macro, and it's not good in the lower light situation, especially when you're shooting a video, and you can't shoot 4K 60, but it gets the job done. Pixel's photos are great, the color is fantastic, HDR is stunning, and when it comes to lower light situation, this camera definitely kills it. But I do feel like the HDR is sometimes a bit overdone. The shadows are too lift up, and the whole clarity is bumped up all the way to 100, especially with the Pixel aesthetic of photo style. And all the photos are not consistent. I'm not saying Pixel will shoot a bad photo, but you can shoot some photos that's like 7 out of 10 and not 10 out of 10 depending on the situation or some objects that you're shooting. The long exposure mode is definitely fun to play around with, but the motion blur modes feel a little too fakey for me. Video performance definitely improved from the previous model. It has better dynamic range, and the colors are fairly nice as well. But the clarity is a bit overdone, and it's kind of too punchy for me. However, when you have a bunch of lights in the sensor and shoot in ideal conditions, the video performance is definitely worth it. Surprisingly, when I'm shooting a video, the mic quality actually actually sounds better than the iPhone, which is kind of surprising. For this year, Google put their homemade Tensor chip into this device. This chip is not aimed for a power user who loves to play video games in every max setting or people who opens gazillion of apps at once. However, this chip's performance is absolutely stellar and I have no complaints at all. This phone did not show any lags or stuttering and you can play video games smoothly in higher settings. 8GB is totally enough for this phone and I didn't feel any type of hurdle when I was using it. But the bread and butter of this new Tensor chip is in the AI capabilities. The live transcription voice recognition is very accurate and fast. Instantaneous completely offline language translation is pretty cool for a second language speaker like me, and the all-time music recognition is pretty dope. Hands down, Android 12 is the best Android that I ever used. It is simple, yet you can customize a lot in the settings menu. The whole UI design is beautiful, and there's nothing perplexed in the UX. Everything is smooth. The all new redesigned Android 12 is very clean, and I feel like this is what iOS should have been from the beginning, but Google totally nailed it. The battery life is pretty good. If you guys ever watched my real day in the life review of the Pixel 6, I hit close to 6 hours of screen on time while remaining 21% of the battery life. It is 8:11 p.m. at night and the total battery percentage is 21%. And the total screen on times are 5 hours and 44 minutes. Not too shabby at all. So I have to say the battery life ain't bad at all. For most of people, this phone is completely fine for a full day of usage, but you might need to charge it at the end of the day. Also, you can fast charge this via 30-watt fast charging brick, but that's like kind of a norm in the Android world, so nothing too special about that, but you can reverse wireless charge with this phone, so that's a plus. Battery life is good, the performance is great, the cameras are fantastic, and the profound AI and OS are incomparable with other devices. This phone is a well-balanced phone with a proper price tag, and for majority of people, I think this phone will do. Anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button, and I will leave 2 of my favorite videos right here, my most recent video and my channel right here. Anyway guys, I hope you guys have a great day. My name is Peace Gates. You guys already know. Peace out guys.